Spoiler review. Spoiler. I really like this movie. But now I can talk about why I like this movie. Let's get into it. Um, like I said in my previous review, there's a lot of red herrings in this movie.
Red
The
herring.
big draw in this movie, not only the James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy quality comedy they have in there, well, I quite won't put it in the level of a Guardians of the Galaxy. The comedy is there. It's a funny movie. Not every joke is the funniest thing in the world. It's just not Blazing Saddles. It's not the funniest movie I've ever seen. But it's funny. It's surfacely fun. It's funny enough to carry the story along, right? The, but what really makes this fun is that in Suicide Squad movie, the name of the game is the number of characters they put in this aren't all going to survive, and you're not really sure who will survive and who will not survive. Some people you think will survive don't. Some people that you thought would die absolutely do die. But it's the way they die, when, and where in the movie that really sells it for me. So we have people like there's two. The movie starts with these D-list ass villains, right? This is a movie full of D-list characters, with the exception of like Harley Quinn, who Harley Quinn's like a B as far as popularity to me. Maybe like an A minus. Harley Quinn is very popular these days. And King Shark, who I believe is like a C minus. He's a little bit more popular than the other characters in this movie as far as global popularity. But nonetheless, I'm getting sidetracked. You have Pete Davidson as Blackguard. You have Savant. You have these original like characters who you see on the promotional material and trailers and stuff, but you don't hear that much about them because and Weasel, and all of them die in the beginning of this fucking movie. They die immediately, and you're like, so what's this movie about? And you realize that there's a whole nother Suicide Squad team also operating at the same time as them. And you find out that this original team was just a sacrifice from Amanda Waller. And Amanda Waller in this movie, right, who I didn't mention, she isn't in this movie a lot, but she gives a great performance in this, Viola Davis. Viola Davis is really good. Now, I don't like using this word, so bear with me. She's really good at being a bitch, right? She has perfect bitch energy. She says what she does is for the good of her country and in the world as a whole. Which it might be, but the way she goes about doing it in this movie is gross. Like, she's willing to sacrifice the lives and well-being of children multiple times in this movie for the sake of America and stuff. It's like, she's like the biggest villain. The good guy in this is like the biggest villain. She obviously doesn't die, but she gets her comeuppance. But I think the way they did her story is great. Especially that scene when she goes to this loud cursing tirade around the end of the movie. Oh, especially the scene when they knock her out in the movie. Great stuff. Performances. Idris Elba as the not Will Smith as Bloodsport. Backup Deadshot Light, Deadshot Zero, the Coke Zero of Deadshot. The low carb keto version of Deadshot to have Bloodsport in this. He's great. He's kind of like the eyes of the audience, where he like sees this weird shit that's going on, and he's like, "What the hell is any of this?" He does a really good job of that, while also fulfilling the action star quality they need in this. Mr. Fast and Furious guy, he's good in this. Idris Elba. And if you've seen the Double Toasted review, they mentioned they missed that Hollywood missed a chance of having a great James Bond, and they're absolutely right. Idris Elba would have made an amazing James Bond in this. Amazing. What else? Who else do I want to point out in this? I can talk about John Cena now. John Cena's great. This It's probably my favorite thing that I've seen John Cena in since he's really flourished as an actor. Although he's more of a comedic presence in a lot of movies, and in this one too, really, he's serviceable when it comes to action. Um, and as far as actually acting, I feel like you can might chisel into him. You could chisel him into something as you can chisel an actor out of him, I believe. But as far as comedy, he has his comedy thing down. I think he's the funniest thing in this movie. I don't want to say by far. He himself is his reactions to other things that are funny, and especially that like the group as a whole is great. They're such a much better group compared to the other group. By far, by far, by far. The movie is just so fun. I like how everybody interacts with each other. The violence is great. The movie is violent and bloody. People curse. They get decapitated. Chunks of their body falls off. People die. And there's red herrings as far as like, okay, so back to John Cena again, right? The movie, you think John Cena is going to be this goofy hero to work alongside with Idris Elba, but at the end, he ends up kind of being the villain, and he gets killed. And all through until that scene, he's great. You also have characters like, oh, randomly Taika Waititi's in this movie for like a minute or so, but you know, whatever, it's not important. Who else do I want to highlight? Stallone thinks he's slick. Stallone does the voice of King Shark in this movie. You know, he's that guy. He's. I see what you're doing, Stallone. It won't work. It won't work. I like you in this, but it won't work. But you know, I love Stallone. Big Rocky fan. You know, but that goes without saying. What else do I want to mention? I want to keep this kind of tight. I want to keep this around 10 minutes. Cause there's a lot that I want to say. There's so many misdirections in this movie. Once the F list villains die in the beginning of the movie, Savant, and all those guys who nobody really knows, Weasel, all those guys. You get into the main cast of Rick Flag. Well, Colonel Rick Flag dies in this, which is crazy. He gets killed by John Cena. What the fuck is that? You have him, Ratcatcher 2, Polka Dot Man, King Shark, Harley Quinn, all of those guys in that second team, the actual A team. And you think that, okay, all of these characters will survive. So these are obviously our A-listers, as far as, not A-listers, but as far as like the A team in the movie. Polka Dot Man dies at the end of the movie. He's kind of funny. He was an interesting guy, but you know, he might be the weakest. He might be the weakest of their group. Hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers and winners can't be losers, but I did like him. I enjoyed everybody in this movie. What can I say? Cons of the movie. This movie's really funny, but it's not 100%. Not everything is as funny as they think that it is. Some of the humor is kind of surface level. You know, not it's good, but not as amazing as they really think that it is. But it's good. It might be a little long. Just a little. I think the movie wraps up at 2 hours and 12 minutes. I don't know where, but I think you could have knocked 10 to 15 minutes off this movie. Not that, but that's just me personally saying that. I was like, oh, this movie is just a tiny bit long. Uh-oh. I don't feel like moving that. We're gonna keep that there. Yeah, that's good enough. But I did enjoy it. I should have wrote chunks of things I wanted to talk about. Do I want to? The movie sets up for a sequel at the end because you find out that although John Cena got shot in the throat, he somehow miraculously he survives this somehow. And I'm like, I don't believe that, but whatever. You did a good job in this movie. You did good enough to warrant people wanting to see a sequel. So if they do a sequel, I'm I'm here for it, Mr. James Gunn. I'm here for a sequel if they do it. This is probably the most I've liked a DC movie since I forget the order things came up in since Shazam. I want to say I don't really count Snyder Cut as a different movie. It's just deleted scenes. It's not a new movie. Although I did enjoy that too. But let's wrap this up. Quick summary. I like all the performances. Everybody's funny. The banter is great. The movie's a little bit long in the tooth, but still good nonetheless. I would love to see more of it. Star wise, I give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. It's not a masterpiece. Far from it. Nor do I think it's the funniest comic book thing that I've seen. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is funnier than this. I just do. But this is funny. The action is good. Great at the end, but it's good. And I would like to see more. I especially want to see more of John Cena and more things. Especially in these kind of comedy action type roles. And I want to see more of the girl that plays Ratcatcher. As far as people like Idris Elba has cut his teeth already. I know he's great. But those two characters in particular, I want to see them do more things. I had fun with this. If you made this far into this video, thank you for watching. I love you. I truly do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me I ramble too much. Tell me I should have wrote a script down. You know, tell me whatever you want to tell me. Tell me you hate my face. I kind of hate it too, but whatever. We got videos to work on. It's sweaty in here in Chicago. Thanks for watching. We got the 5 stars. My next video is going to be a classic review. Or maybe I want to do a bad review. Because I want to talk about Battlefield Earth and how it's the worst thing ever recorded for camera screen. You know, besides Medea. Goodbye. Goodbye. Farewell. I don't know the rest of the words.